in organizing the job site, getting the reports back in. This is a norm to the country and it's working. No, this is New York, they'll always find some way around it. Well, that's where the shop stewards come in and our business reps, and I'm sure that there's going to be something put in place to knock out the corruption in this end, that the contractor is not going to have his way, that we are going to supply the labor. You know, I do feel that some brothers on the list, you know, there is good brothers on the list. I think that list is probably going to get low right now. A lot of guys who are on the list now can be hired. They are scared because of the quality of the carpenter that they were going to get off the list. And don't get me wrong, there's good men on the list. And I think that it's a learning experience, and we're going to go along with the program, and it'll have to be adjusted on the way.
I'd just like to add something. What we have to remember here is, you know, these contractors had full mobility before. It was just, you know, the definition of it was a little bit different, right? They 1,000 job numbers, they requested guys, and those guys were union guys, when we all know they were company guys.
It's just legal now. It was, that's rated.
Well,
Okay, let's let Jeremy finish.
yeah, I'm just saying, you know, it was there before, and shop stewards still got respect on the job. Listen, if you're a good shop steward and you know your job, you're going to get respect on the job. That's the bottom line.
I will take one more from the floor, then we'll have closing statements. So keep that in mind when you vote as to whether you want to hear it. Mike.
To do with the contract, the Drywall and Sealing Association has subcontractors that overlap with the BCA. If the Drywall and Sealing Association signs the contract, do those subcontractors that are associated with the BCA become non-signatory contractors? And can they buy union work while the other contract is, the other association is signed?
Right.
All right, well, let's hear one more question, then you can decide between the two questions which one you want to hear. Fellow in the back. Yeah, you.
How do you view the position of the president in relation to our AST?
Okay, which question do you want to hear the answer to?
Mike.
All right, Mike's question.
That's a complex question, Mike.
You want to repeat the question, Mike?
Sure. There's two associations that the work overlaps. They both do drywall and sealing. One is the BCA, one is the Drywall and Sealing Association. We're very close to a contract with the Drywall and Sealing Association. We're very far from our negotiations with the BCA. If the contractors, the subcontractors that are associated with the Drywall and Sealing Association sign a contract with us, are the subcontractors with the BCA then non-signatory? And can they buy union work in New York when we already have a signed signatory contractor association signed with us? Can the subcontractors, hence, Techno is with the BCA, Superior is with the Drywall and Sealing Association. They both do the same work. Okay, if Superior is signed with us and Techno is not, can they bid the same work?
Steve, you want to take a shot at that?
I'll give it a stab. You know, as I said, they're in the same field. You know, the BCA and the wall ceiling. And as I said, the BCA, as I said before, is divided between GCs and subs. You know, we're still under agreement with the BCA.
But if one's signed, I'm not.
I understood your point.
Okay.
You know, to my point, if you're signed and then somebody executes the contract, that doesn't void the BCA's agreement. That's my Philadelphia lawyer shot at that one. You know, an agreement's an agreement. It's two different agreements in the field, but it's still like, you know, we have a company with the like we say we signed the BCA. We have a what's the name of it? GSR. It's a concrete outfit. The cement league wouldn't take them. We signed the BCA agreement. The GSR is signed. The contract goes in. That doesn't mean the cement league can't bid on a concrete contract. That's my shot at it.
As far as I understand, if a contractor gets if the wall and ceiling contract, they get the new contract, it doesn't void the other contracts.
They don't have one.
as far as I understand, if we're working for them, they're still under some contract. But, of course, it takes you, Mike, complex question. And if need be, we definitely get a lawyer answering that question. Sorry.
Thank you.
Mike, I would imagine it's like what's going on now. There's just extensions to the existing contract. So the wall and ceiling will have their contract, and the BCA, it's just an extension until something is resolved.
But you'd have two different prices, exactly. You'd have one with a real new contract and one with an old contract subverting a new contract.
No, I understand that, but I mean, that's all we can do right now. That's
Okay.
as far as I know. I mean, again, I'm not an attorney, but
It's a good question, Mike, but I think that the old contracts would exist. You know, Techno, whatever they are, you know, their price and the lower price, it's an unfair balance, actually.
Exactly.
It's unfair balance, and I would want to have it all on a level playing field. Now, again, Mike, I would have to go to legal advice for that, but my opinion is that, you know, it's an unfair practice.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, it's time for closing statements, up to 5 minutes, and we'll start with Martin McGuire.
Thank you. Well, Mr. McGinnis mentioned the word pig to me, okay? All right? That's pretty well making it a nice brotherhood. Well, let me ask you something, brothers and sisters. When you go home tonight, I want you to look at the interim report, number 2. Go to page 46 and look at what he has done. All right? Let's look at the expenditure that he has incurred. In Washington, D.C., on April 2008, McGinnis put together a Building Trades Council for all us guys to go, 42 actually. The dinner cost $10,000 of your money. You paid for it. When he was asked, how come this is an enormous bill? He said there was nothing in writing. There was no specific guidelines here. Spend as you please. That's who you want as president? Go ahead. He wanted to go to Florida to some conference. Frank Spencer said no. Now let's look at some of the giveaways. We give away thousands and thousands of dollars every year to politicians who do nothing, no jobs created. Well, again, you know, if you listen to him, you're getting thousands of jobs. We have 4,000 on the list right now, but we're creating thousands of jobs. We have the Johnny Rim bill 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be a great one, guys. But it's not going into effect until 2015. It's the long story, the long-winded story of the politician. Now, McGinnis is a leftover of a corrupt administration, whether you like it or not. Corrupt as can be. That's the reason why I'm here tonight, because I'm not a buddy of Mike Ford's. I didn't get a job in the bar or become a business agent. I ran against Mike Ford. And people in this room were running against him. In 1999, Gene Clark ran against him, Sister Doreen Gay, many others. I was told at the Labor Day parade in 1999 that I was an unpopular man, that I wouldn't work in this town. I was told by Brother Paul Tisner I wouldn't work in this town. It's the wrong thing to do. Brother Ford said to me, this is facts, guys. Paddy O'Neill went to the council. Ford didn't like the idea. And I talked to him about it. He said, don't worry. He said, I got somebody with O'Neill. O'Neill got fired before Christmas Eve. Ford was put into his office in January. He immediately appointed a political director as a favor. Okay? He set up a piggy bank. Okay? Let's look at the piggy bank. The piggy bank is 5 cents an hour of your money. Okay? 5 cents an hour. $1.2 million goes in there every year. Now let's look at the donations. 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 25,000 of your money go to politicians who's going to tell you the same thing as he's going to tell you. Great job. We're doing a wonderful job. City Hall, we're going to get the guys over there. They're going to be working on our behalf. We're going to get Albie on our behalf. We're going to get everybody on our behalf. Let me ask you something, brothers and sisters. You have a choice to make on December the 20th. Now, I didn't write this report. This is Walsh's report. All right? You have a choice on December the 20th where you're going to vote for a wannabe politician or a carpenter. That's your choice. You can cross the line. You can elect a wannabe carpenter here. And the next time you can elect a painter. Next time you can elect a plumber. The carpenter can't take care of himself. Now let me ask you something else, brothers and sisters. If you go out for dinner and you order a steak, and the steak comes in, and the vegetables are around it, and you put the knife in the steak, and you taste it, and it's rotten, it's not good. Are you going to send it back? Are you going to keep the vegetables? What are you going to do? Send the whole plate back, right? Okay, so if you want the same policies and the same stuff as Mike Ford did, then don't vote for me. Vote for McGuinness. You got it. Brothers and sisters, I have a different plan. All right? I know the EST, Mr. Biello. He's a good man and a decent man. I saw him when he was in trouble here at this council. Nobody liked him either. He was down at 7 Hanover at 4 o'clock in the evening. I was with him. He went up one staircase to clear out Ampar. I stayed downstairs and all the guys came flying out. That's the sort of a man that I count as a carpenter and a leader. But he's been misguided. As soon as he came in here to this council, who was at his doorstep when he Brother McGuinness? With all the old tricks of Brother Ford, right down to the pike, taking him by the hand, showing him who's who around this town. Brother Biello, he ran as a rank and file carpenter. Today, he's going to support Steve McGuinness, a leftover from a corrupt organization. Not a carpenter, but a politician. Do you want to change this district council? Do you want to change the name? Do you want New York District Council of Carpenters and Johners of America at 395 Hudson Street? Or do you want New York District Council of wannabe politicians? Or do you want to take New England in here and change the name at 2 o'clock in the morning and take your car and go for a ride up to upstate, 95 upstate, okay? And take in Tom Brady's football game on a Sunday. Do you want to take 495 east up to Hot Dog? See what's going on over there. Do you want to listen to Sean Ballantyne telling you, yes, you're doing a good question, it's a great job, you guys are fantastic. You saw our local disappear. Watch out that we don't have our district council disappear. I said earlier tonight, Mr. Walsh, open your door. Look what's going on here. Take down that wall, Mr. Walsh, and take a second look and see what's going on. But brothers and sisters, corruption has to go, and it has to go now. And I will take care of that if I'm president. And the first order of business is I'll alleviate the no political director here spending our money as he wishes. I will consolidate that into the organizing department. We pay 50 cents an hour of assessment of your hard-earned money in that. 18 million hours is $9 million. I'll take his salary and I'll put 2 business agents to work. That's what I'll do with that money. And the monies that's given away here, the EST, the president, and the vice president will have a say. And then it'll be taken to the delegate body. It's no more freebie. So if you want the same stuff to continue, don't vote for me. Vote for McGuinness. If you want a different path, vote for Martin McGuire. Thank you. God bless America.
Just to clarify something, those words never came out of my mouth. I usually know that there's a difference between agreeing with you, but you know what? I'd like a retraction.
You're welcome.
Good evening again. The reason why you should vote for me on December 20th is I am the most independent of all the candidates. I know the rules. As president, I will not just fall in line, right or wrong. Unity and conformity for its own sake ultimately will lead us to failure. To follow our so-called leaders without question will lead us to ruin. I support those who are doing right for the members and will oppose those who are not. At first discreetly, then publicly. Again, my name is Dan Franco. I'm running for president December 20th. Please come out and vote for me. If you need any more information, I have a website, mobile number, and email address. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm
You know,